This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of An Anthropologist Watches Glitter and Lasers' entire Lipedema's journey from start to finish. And we are officially at I'm having surgery. The official beginning of the surgery part of the Lipedema arc. And I have a cat. Look at me. Oh, come on, you were being cute 5 seconds ago. Look at me. Look at me. Boop. Anyway, this is Butthead Cat. I'm even surprised he's even up here. Here you go. That's right. That's right. Oh, that's right. You got me. Oh no, I'm being eaten. Being eaten by the vicious cat. Oh noes. Oh noes. Oh, he's vicious. Nom nom nom. Human flesh. Nom nom nom. Oh, nom nom. Can I have my hand back now? Is that a no? Can't have my hand back now. Sorry. All right. So I have notes. There. I have notes. I have timestamps. This is the infamous I am getting surgery video. I forget. Okay, if you're gonna do that, I want my hand back. Thank you. This is the infamous crying in a hotel room. I forget exactly what cruise this is after. I want to say it's the Disney cruise, but I'm not entirely sure anymore. But it's before Bagelgate. I don't know if we're going to go over Bagelgate again. Because I don't know if Bagelgate is actually relevant to the Lipedema arc itself. It does occur during Lipedema arc, but I don't really know if it's important to the Lipedema arc, if that makes sense. Like, it happens, but it's not directly part of it. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Look at that. Look what you did to my hand. I don't know if it'll be interesting to have in the overall storyline, if you're catching my drift. I don't know. Also, I feel like we've beat Bagelgate to death, to be honest. I mean, we got the entire Lindsay's channel out of it. It was totally worth it, don't get me wrong. So there is that. But, all right. Like I said, I don't exactly remember what cruise this was after. But let me pull up her transcript real fast because I have timestamps and I would like to stick with them. Now, in the last video that I did, we went over her Novo Nordisk collaborative-ish video where she was in Finland. And I had some 48 laws sprinkled in here and there. I don't have those in this one, mainly because I didn't do it. So I just didn't do it. And I apologize. I know some of you really enjoy that. I will try to do this from here on out. Also, I think from here on out, it's going to get a little tricky. Because I think from here on out, we don't have as many videos. But she does have playlists on her TikTok and I think on Instagram. And those are going to be the two that I'm going to try to go through. And I'm going to try to do that while sprinkling in clips from other people's videos as well. So I did see someone leave a comment that they don't like when I react to other people's videos. So FYI to that person, there's going to be a lot of that going on from here on out. So maybe not the series for you. Just FYI. All right. Where are we at? Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. We are almost to 12K. We're like 100 subscribers away from 12K. So it's almost cat time. So just, tell your mama, tell your friends. We can sponsor another tabby maybe. You too can have a tabby cat sponsor. Anyway. How do you not love this? Why are you being so sweet today? He just decided to be annoying today. He's never like this, ever. All right, anyway, enough cat time, right? Is there ever enough cat time? I do have her sped up to time and a quarter. This is a 22-minute video. I'll try not to talk as much through this one. I don't really have as much of a preamble to do for this one. I will warn you guys, this is another dark anthropology video. I talk a lot. I overthink things. That's what we do here. So if this is this is your first video on my channel, get yourself a drink. Pick up your knitting, find a puzzle, strap in. This is what we do. Anna does cry a lot in this video, and we're going to talk about weaponized tears because my chat helped me out last night, and that is a much better term because that's exactly what it is. Anna likes to weaponize her emotions. She likes to weaponize her tears. She likes to over-emote. She likes to overperform. And that's the term we're going with because that's what's happening. All right, so let us go. I can't think of anything else I need to like warn you guys about. So, all right.
In 1 week, I am having surgery to address my lipedema.
Oh, is this the one where she has like the 3-minute long intro? I forgot about this one. All right, so this video of hers has an incredibly long intro that has like a bunch of like 2 to 3 second clips in it. And then the video itself will start and it will feel like deja vu. And can I remember where that starts? Okay, so originally I was just going to skip this and I was going to jump right to the beginning of the video. But the more that I was watching this, trying to figure out where the beginning of the video was, the more I'm like, no, we're going to watch this because this is actually pretty important. Anna edited this, or somebody edited this, in a way where they pulled out what they thought were the most impactful moments of Anna's crying jag, of Anna's weaponizing of her emotions and her tears. And they spliced it together in a way where they thought that this was like the most poignant of her arguments about what the hell she's getting ready to do, right? Now, keep in mind, hindsight's 2020. This is from June 26th, 2024. Right here. Excuse me. Right here. Right? So, almost a year ago. To the day. Hell, it might actually be to the day by the time you guys see this. I don't know. Don't know exactly. But the point is, one of the things we do here, because again, we overthink things. We also look at nonverbal communication here. So if you don't like that either, there's your warning. But one of the other things we do here is we also look at the nonverbal. And Anna chose these clips. I don't remember exactly how many of them are. It's kind of a long intro, honestly. But Anna chose these clips for a reason. And she obviously thought that these were like the argument, like the knockout arguments, but also because these are the crying highlights of the arguments and the things that she's going to say in these clips, they are also said obviously in the video. These moments of weaponization of emotion and weaponization of her tears, these are the building blocks of her shield against criticism. Like, she is starting off this video with what she thinks is a rock solid wall against any form of criticism or any kind of accountability towards herself, her behavior, or anything that could be pointed back at her as her having any kind of responsibility for her health or for the condition that she is in leading into this health arc that she's getting ready to embark on, right? So there's going to be a lot of narrative control. She's going to be trying a lot here to redefine terms. She's going to be trying to do a lot of trying to take control of the conversation before it even starts. She's going to be trying to define right off the bat who is and who is not in her corner, who are the people who will be supporting her and who the people who aren't supporting her are going to be. There's going to be a ton of moral masking right off the bat, which the moral masking is another way of her defining who is and who is not going to be her supporters. And that will also help define, like, if I say certain things, if I question, or if I even like have a, like, just a, hey, can you clarify question, that will automatically put me in the non-supporter category right off the bat. Again, with the strategic victimhood and the empathy mining, we're not counting the crying and the visual performance here and the body language and all that. These are just going off of her verbal cues, right? So there's going to be a ton of strategic victimhood here, a ton of empathy mining. And then we talked about the self-mythologizing feedback loops. The thing about that one is it goes hand in hand with the parasitic relationship, the parasitic intimacy and the parasocial enmeshment. She encourages her audience to have a parasocial relationship with her. And then the self-mythologizing feedback loop is she then uses that parasocial relationship and feedbacks from it. Like, so she builds off of that into herself and then feeds back into the audience with it, right? So, and that can be positive and negative. I mentioned that in the last video. So right off the bat, she's going to say something to the effect of, there's always going to be someone who wants me to be a villain. And that's the self-mythologizing feedback loop. So she hears her critics, right? And she has internalized the criticism as people want to villainize her. Now, this people want me to be a villain thing, this is something she says about herself a lot. And it's not just this video. She says it in her book a couple times. I don't know about her vlog so much, but I've heard her say it in, now leading up to this video, because I've been reacting to her up to this point, at this point. But she says it in her stories a few times. She's very concerned about people who have negative things to say about her, at least as she perceives it being negative. Anna has said in the past, in her blog, in her book, and in videos, that any form of criticism is bullying. Any form of criticism, even if it's just casual criticism, constructive criticism, any form of criticism is bullying. Hands down. So, and if you're bullying her or if you're criticizing her, she views it as a form of victimization, and she obviously sees it as a form of villainization, right? So this is that feedback loop going on here with the people want me to be a villain. So whether it's an accurate feedback loop or not is irrelevant. It's a feedback loop. So she's feeding back into the audience what she thinks they're feeding her. People are commenting on her about how she's an evil, evil, bad person. And now she's feeding back to them, oh, people want me to be the villain. And that's that feedback loop happening here. We've talked about the moral masking, the narrative control. Right. And then the ritualized deception, that's going to come up as well. The keeping the goalpost moving, the disruptive reasoning. She's going to try to keep everybody on their toes by keeping the conversation on unsteady ground, right? And in that way, she's going to try to keep any kind of blame or any kind of accountability off of herself. Whether there should be or shouldn't be accountability or blame on her or not, she's going to try to keep dodging that as much as possible. And then with the ritualized deception, with the disruptive reasoning, she's going to try to get the audience to even question if what we're even thinking is correct in the first place. Like, are we even having correct thoughts in the first place? You know, like, well, should we even be questioning this? You know, that kind of a thing.
In 1 week, I am having surgery to address my lipedema. I am trying to smile through it and I'm trying to live through it, but I am crying a lot. The
crying, obviously, as we said, that's the empathy mining.
I can't help feeling like a failure.
Again, empathy mining, the moral masking, strategic performing.
And I know sharing this, I am going to get shredded online. I know that is what so many people are going to do.
That's the, yeah, anyway, we already covered that.
I'm not the problem. The condition is the problem. And
that's the narrative control.
That's hard because, like, as a bigger body, you're just gaslit your whole life to feel...
Again, narrative control.
Like you're the problem.
Excuse me.
But on one hand, people are telling you it is all your fault, and you are the problem, and you are making choices that led you to this. And on the other hand, you have a community of people who are telling you, you were just meant to be big, don't do anything about it.
This is her trying to set the groundwork for the upcoming argument and to build her shield against criticism, because she's attacking two different communities right now. She's attacking not only the reaction community, but she's also attacking the haze, the health at every size, and the fat acceptance communities.
And guess what? Both of those are wrong. My only regret at this point, especially after getting everyone kind of telling me that, you know, I'm stage 4, which is like the worst.
Spoilers, she's not.
You are not a failure if you seek treatment. You are not a failure if you accept your condition. You are not a failure if you want to stop the pain.
Again, moral masking, strategic performance. This is the self-mythologizing feedback loop. There's a lot going on in that whole statement there. Again, narrative control. Pretty much all of them right there. Because we can also take that into the ritualized deception and the disruptive reasoning. I mean, really kind of all of them are happening right there.
There is always going to be someone that wants me to be a villain.
Again, we come back to that.
I don't need to be that villain in my life anymore. I don't need to be the person that's mean to me anymore.
There we go.
I don't need to be that.
Problem with Anna and her over-emoting and her weaponized tears is that they're so insincere. And I say this a lot when I talk about Anna, is I don't doubt that Anna doesn't have emotions. It's just they're so performative. They come off fake. And I can't tell if Anna has just practiced them to the point where they feel fake. So that when she finally does get around to recording these videos, that it's just because Anna has the air of the failed theater kid, or the wannabe theater kid, the kid that didn't make it into theater, but who wanted to be the theater kid, right? And so everything Anna does is just so bombastic, right? There's no, everything Anna does is at 11 when it doesn't need to be, when it needs to be at like a 2, right? And so that's Anna's problem, right? Maybe she really is just always at 11. She's like up here and I need you down here, kind of a thing. I had somebody say that to me one time and I was just like, it's always stuck with me. And I'm just always like, come down here. Anyway, but that's Anna's biggest problem, honestly, is she just comes off so fake. And I sometimes do honestly wonder if that's just the curse of Anna. Like, if that's just Anna's cross to bear, she's just fake feeling, but that's her reality, you know? And if that is her reality, that's such an unfortunate reality to have, is to just be the Cassandra, is like, no one will believe you because you're just so fucking fake. Just everything you do just comes off fake. Which is unfortunate to be, because like, how do you convince people that you're not when your natural state of being is to feel fake as hell? Anyway. That's me trying to be nice, honestly, because like my knee-jerk reaction with her, and I tend to go with my gut feeling with these kind of things, is that she's just fake AF, honestly, because I just don't believe people are like that. Anyhow, okay, here we go. I think we're finally.
I am having surgery to address my lipedema, and I felt like I needed to come and just explain why and how I got to this point. About 2 years ago, I started talking about my health journey.
So this video is from, again, I keep forgetting, this is from June 2024. So about 2 years ago would be roughly June 2022. And as we have covered in this series here, the first time she mentions on camera as part of her health journey that she has lipedema is from 2020. Now, again, as I said in every one of these videos, there is a clip somewhere in one of her try-on hauls from 2017 where she mentions that she has lipedema, but it's just kind of a throwaway comment as she's trying on pants or skirts or something, and she says, I have a hard time finding yada yada because I have lipedema in my hips and thighs. And it's just a toss-off comment, and I don't have the time or the energy to go look for it because other than being a comment, it's irrelevant to the conversation. And it's out there. If you want to go look for it, it's not hard to find. I'm not doing it. Anyway, the more important thing is the video from 2020, which again is the first video in this series, where she mentions not only that she has lipedema, that she's been diagnosed with lipedema, and that she has kind of started treatment for it, but doesn't specify what. Says she's not going to do keto for it. And from 2020 forward, we don't see her do any other form of treatment for lipedema. We don't see her do compression. We don't see her do what is it? Compression therapy. We don't see her do any of the stuff that Jordan Underwood did. And one thing I do want to state that I didn't make clear the last time I mentioned Jordan Underwood. Jordan Underwood's preferred pronouns, as far as I am aware, are he, they. So I know that's confusing for some people, but Jordan's preferred pronouns are he, they. So just, FYI going forward, I'll try to remember to mention that any other time I bring up Jordan. But that's why I try to refer to Jordan as they. But anyway, Jordan's lipedema journey at stage 4, because Jordan also was diagnosed as stage 4 lipedema. Jordan's journey was much different than Anna's journey was. And according to Anna also has stage 4 lipedema, which in the United States, according to Colin, stage 4 lipedema is lymphedema, which means she has lipedema and lymphedema. Good times. But that's according to the US. And the United States is, as I understand, the only country in the world that defines stage 4 lipedema that way. As I understand, I can be corrected. But I will refer to you to Colin Mockery's documentary on that for further clarification, and his interview with Dr. Birch, who is an international expert on lymphedema, for further. I will try to remember to. There are going to be a lot of links underneath this series. Let me put it that way. Don't come for me. Go into the description first, then you can come for me. Anyway. Yes, sir. What can I do for you? You coming up, or are you just going to sit down there and make noise? Come on. Come on. Let's go. I got yelled at last time you made noise and didn't come up. I'm being ignored. Sorry, I tried. Anyway, yes, so thank you. So that's the first time we saw her mention in public that she had lipedema is in 2020. We've never seen her do anything that is considered a conservative treatment for lipedema since. Keep that in mind.
And in the beginning, I was really open about everything going on. But as time went on, there was just so much criticism, and it affected my mental health. And I also was afraid that I would start making decisions based on what people thought of me.
I cannot recall her ever doing anything from the point 2020 forward about her lipedema.
Versus what was actually best for me.
Right.
So I decided at that point to pull back and to allow myself the time to make the right decisions. And that with the intention of maybe not ever sharing it. But
and the intention of never sharing it seems to be what she went with. Now, in her defense, it's her health. It's her health story. As much as I want to sit here and complain about it, she owes us nothing, right? And that's fine. That's her card to play. The thing, though, is you don't get to not play your card and then complain about people speculating about shit that you didn't tell us. You don't, okay, let me put it that way. You don't get to be like, ooh, there's something wrong with me. And then get mad when everybody speculates about what's wrong with you because you don't give us any information about it, right? And Anna is the queen of this shit. She won't give you a proper timeline. She loves to pretend. She loves to like vague post about her health and her flare-ups. And she was doing that coming into this because this is right after her jogging epic, her I'm going to run a 5K jogging epic. And she had been from that point talking about all these mysterious flare-ups she was having and her immuno something or other. No one knew what the hell she was talking about. She wouldn't clarify. She is, as I mentioned in the video prior to this, she hasn't come clean about taking weight loss shots, even though we have figured out at this point that she was taking weight loss injections. But she still, even though we've figured out that she was taking weight loss injections, still hasn't flat out admitted it yet, but she's not denied it either. It's a whole thing.
But now I feel a responsibility to share it because I genuinely feel like I dealt with my condition too late, and I can be honest about that. And I am working on not punishing myself for that because I think it's an unfair thing to punish myself for, but it's something.
Keep in mind, she says, I feel like I waited too late to treat my condition. This is 2024. She has known publicly at this point for 4 years, 2020 to 2024, for 4 years now, publicly, that she has lipedema. And if you count all the way back to 2020 or 2017, that's like, what, 7 years that she's known personally that she has lipedema? So, and we've never seen her wear compression garments leading up to this. We have never heard her talk about MLD. We have never seen her wear any form of wraps or any form of any of the types of lipedema treatments, conservative lipedema treatments leading up to this. We've never heard her talk about doing an anti-inflammatory diet or keto or any of this, right? I think there's one point in her 2012 blog, back when she was actually trying to lose weight, where I think she spent a week doing keto as part of a little mini challenge that she had done for herself, where she spent a week or two doing various types of diets. And one of the diets she tried was keto. But she also tried things like, I think she tried being vegetarian. Another one she tried was gluten-free. Like she was experimenting with different types of diets, and keto just happened to be one of them. I'll have to go back and double check, but it wasn't, I'm doing keto because I have lipedema kind of a thing. I don't even know if she knew she had lipedema in 2012. My point is, there has been nothing to indicate from 2017 to 2020 to 2020 to 24 that she has done anything to treat her lipedema at all. At all.
Thing I deeply feel right now, and therapy is great, I'll get through it, but right now I'm not.
The only therapy that we are aware of her doing at all is BetterHelp. The online therapy for BetterHelp, by the way.
And if I can help somebody else get the treatment and care they need and figure out how to do that, I want to be that person because
Anna desperately wants to be the martyr, in that she wants to be the martyr that encourages the role model martyr. The, oh my God, Anna, you inspired me to go do the thing that you did and it improved my life. Anna cares more about looking like the person that will inspire you than being the person who will inspire you. Like, she wants you to be inspired by the version of her that she thinks will inspire you, rather than living the life that will actually inspire you, right? So, like, yeah, she wants to tell you about how inspiring she is, rather than just living the life that will inspire you, right? She will tell you all goddamn day about how inspiring she is. But when you actually sit down and look at her life, it's not that inspiring, right? And that's what happens with Anna. She wants to tell you about how she's a superwoman and how she powers through everything and how she's a warrior and she's this and she's that and she's da 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 da. And then you sit down and you actually look at her life and you're just like, how is your life any different than mine? Like, what are you doing that's different than me? I do more shit than you do. How are you inspiring? Oh, well, I live with chronic pain. I can't feel my hand right now. What is your point? It's just kind of like, and? Go on.
I don't want anyone else to go through what I'm going through right now. So, I have lost about 100 pounds.
This is on the injections, by the way.
And in January, I stopped losing weight. I was taking Wegovy. I know I've never talked about my medication before, but it is important to the story. So I'm going to talk about it here, and I'm not endorsing anything. You should go see your doctor for any medical treatment. It's just important to the storyline.
And she's not endorsing it because I think around this point, and this is me speculating 100%, I think her, whatever it was she had going with Novo Nordisk or whatever it was, I think her endorsement with Novo Nordisk has ended or has fallen through, and she has lost her endorsement with them. And because with Anna, this is my speculation, with Anna doesn't do shit unless she's getting paid. And so I think when Anna started to have to pay for this stuff out of pocket, because she said what back in January, and this was June. Yeah. So in January of 2024, she would have stopped taking the injections, she says. And actually, anyway, I think that's when the endorsement with Novo Nordisk fell through, and she would have either had to have had her insurance, if she has it, start paying for it, or she would have had to start paying out of pocket. And you can get generics around this time. So that wouldn't have been too big of an issue, but I don't think she was getting her freebies anymore. But that's me speculating, literally me speculating.
So I've been on the Wegovy for about, I'm going to say 8 months, and I just stopped losing weight. And I was keeping around an 1,800 to 2,000 calorie diet.
And I 150% call bullshit on that. And I call bullshit on that not only because I call bullshit on that, but just
stopped losing weight. And I was keeping around an 1,800 to 2,000 calorie diet, and I was training for my 5K.
I just don't believe it. I don't believe her nonverbals. I don't believe her tone. I don't believe anything she just said there. Anyway, you can disagree. It's fine.
And if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below.
And I've covered her entire race thing. It's fine. I'm sure I've got it somewhere on my channel.
You can get an idea of like what I was doing.
I'm not going to link it. You guys can go dig for it. It's fine.
And that was weird. That was unusual. And I was tracking just like everything according to what I needed to be my best and healthiest self. And so it was very frustrating. So my doctor was like, well, maybe we'll try a different medication. Zepbound goes up higher in its dosages. Maybe you just need a higher dosage. We went on Zepbound. And by we, I mean I went on Zepbound. Nobody else joined me. It wasn't like a collective. But I ended up having a really bad allergic reaction. And It also made me hungry versus stabilizing my appetite. So it was not good for me. And I also started to have like pain, and we thought that that was related to the allergic reaction, because allergic reactions can cause inflammation and all kinds of other things. Didn't pay any mind to it, detoxed off the medication, went back onto Wegovy, and then I felt great again. Still wasn't losing weight. So my doctor was like, maybe it's just a plateau, just keep going, and I did. And in June, whenever I went to the doctor in LA, like 2 weeks previously, I can't even remember when that was. So
I think she started to give us the correct timeline. Anna doesn't like giving the audience her timeline. And I think what happened is she started to give us the correct timeline and she stopped herself. And I think that's what happened here. That's me speculating again. Anna despises giving the audience accurate information when it comes to time. And that will become more and more evident the further into the surgery arc we get. Because not only does she not give us accurate timeline, she goes out of her way to obfuscate the timeline. Like she will purposefully screw with stuff to try to screw with the timeline. I understand wanting to keep things like surgery dates private, especially when like you don't want people to know that you're going to be in LA on a certain date to have your surgery, especially prior to said surgery. I get that part, but the way that she goes about doing this stuff causes issues for her down the road, because it makes it look worse than it is, and it causes people to be even more suspicious of her activities from that point forward. And it just causes her so many issues that looks like it frustrates her later on down the line. And it's like, if you would just not be so skeevy about your timeline, that would alleviate, I don't know, 70% of the problems you have with the reaction channels and the people that you get so mad at in your stories and in your threads. Because like, she's got issues with several reaction channels because they call her out for her bullshit. And a lot of her bullshit is around her timelines. But
oh gosh, I want to say it's March, but that could be wrong. It could also be April. It's all a blur right now. But what happened is I went to the doctor again, still wasn't losing weight. So she was like,
her doctor in LA that she's talking about is her first, as far as we can put together, is her first visit to go see Amron, and Dr. Amron. Amron is, from what we can tell, the doctor who informs her that she has no more burnable fat on her body. None of this. All this is not burnable fat, you guys. This is all lipedema. Anyway.
We're going to try a different medicine combo, but...
Now, I backed it up. Excuse me. I backed this up for a reason. And the reason is, I don't remember if it was it was the second video where we were talking about the injections with Novo Nordisk. Anna oscillates between if her doctor is male or female, depending on when she tells the story. And I don't know if that's because she has multiple doctors, which it could be, or if she just never settles on whether or not... Aw, thank you. Ooh, I can't see from here. I've got glasses on. My partner got me flowers and they're pretty. I like snapdragons. Anyway, Anna has a hard time. Anyway, I have a hard time keeping track of whose Anna doctors is. Also, the other thing is, this is one of Anna's lipedema story origins, if that makes sense. And it's the second time we're hearing about how she's been diagnosed with lipedema. Now, it's different than the 2020 version, but it's also 4 years in the future. So there's more details in this one for obvious reasons, because there's more steps in this one. This is that point in the day where everything I try to record is cursed. So, anyway, So I wanted to back it up so that we could hear without me interrupting it and having other things interrupt it. I wanted to hear the entire origin, because from this point forward, every time she retells this story, there is a slight but significant change. She's going to tell the story here, and then later she's going to tell the story on her Medical Mysteries podcast. And then after that, there's a Lipedema Mamas podcast. And I feel like there's a third time after this, like another time where she tells this origin story, and the story also changes. And there's always like a slight but significant difference in the story each time. So, and I'm sure as we go through everything, we will find them all. And I swear I'm going to sit down and put all of them together so you can just listen to them in a timeline and go from 2020 to 2024 to 2024 to 2025 to 2025. Because that's how they go. And I think it will be very interesting to sit down and listen to them and just hear the subtle differences year to year.
So she was like, we're going to try a different medicine combo, but I think you need to see somebody about your lipedema before we make any big decisions. And I was like, okay. And I literally just felt like they're going to tell me the same things that I've heard from every doctor. And I've heard about my lipedema from my obesity specialist, which was who I was seeing, my vascular surgeon because of like my spider veins and circulatory issues as a result of lipedema, also from my primary care doctor. And I just felt like it was going to be like the dry brushing, the self-lymphatic massage, wearing compression socks, compression pants if I can find ones that fit me correctly, which I couldn't at the time, changing my diet, which I'd already done, exercising, maybe reducing the high impact stuff. Like I knew that that's what I was going to hear. And so I didn't.
So she's heard about her lymphedema from at least 3 doctors. She's been given a treatment plan from said doctors, none of which we've ever seen her do. She doesn't wear the compression pants because she can't find any that find her or fit her. She doesn't do the dry brushing. I've seen it demonstrated by other people that do have it, and I've never seen her do anything like that. Reducing the high impact stuff, which would include running a 5K and doing the TRX workouts that she was adamant that she would do during her 5K training. Let that sink in. And what else was there? Just some other stuff that literally everything she just listed, she either did the exact opposite of. Oh, changing her diet? When?
Expect anything different, right?
Was this before or after the Snackle box and the protein junk food haul?
So I went in, and I also wanted to know, like, when I was ready, how much would surgery cost and all of that. I saw several doctors, and we'll talk about that in a different video, but I did see several doctors. And
another important detail.
Every single one of them said the same thing, which was that I was very close to losing mobility, which...
This is an interesting detail because when she went to Run Lab, which was in 2023, prior to March 2023, they told her that she didn't walk correctly, but they could teach her how to walk, and they were training her how to walk correctly. And she had improved her ability to walk. This was before she ran her 5K in March of 2024.
It was extremely shocking to me because I felt great. I didn't have pain. My inflammation was like under control. So I was like, I'm fabulous, right? But every single one of them is like, ugh, you need to deal with this soon. And so, the first time I heard it, I was like, okay. Second time I heard it, I was like, you make a good point. Third time I heard it, I actually started to get scared. So I made the decision that during the summer is the slowest time of year for me work-wise. It made the most sense to, if I was going to do it, do it then. So I made the decision to have surgery, scheduled the appointment, and started the process of prepping for surgery. And again, I'm still feeling pretty good at this point.
This is one of those times where a timeline would be very helpful, because I have no idea what this timeline looks like. Like, where did that 5K, where was that 5K occurring during this? Because the 5K itself was during St. Pat's, because it was a St. Patrick's Day 5K. So where did that fall into this? Where did all that training with Run Lab occur during all of this?
As part of surgery protocol, you have to go off GLP-1s and several other medications, okay?
You basically have to go off of everything.
Just because they thin the blood or they can cause problems with anesthesia. I started to go off of the Wegovy. And it's been really, honestly, terrible. I don't have another word for it. I don't want this to be a cry video, but it really is a cry video, because I started.
Every video we've looked at so far has been a cry. I'm not joking. Literally every video we've gone over has been a cry video.
Started to really feel the condition in my body in a way, like I always had some pain. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have a really high pain tolerance, and that is just a symptom of the life I've lived. But
the entire time she was doing the Run Lab videos and the 5K training videos, she was popping ibuprofen like popcorn. Don't get me wrong. I myself used to... Told you, cursed. I myself used to take quite a bit of ibuprofen when I was working in the fields. So, I mean, that sounds horrible. When I used to do field work. So, I get it, but I didn't take ibuprofen because I liked it. I mean, I did, but I took it because I had pain. Pain-free people don't take ibuprofen. There was something I was going to look up. Crap. And then my phone distracted me, and now I've completely lost my train of thought. That's good. It was obviously not that important.
This was new, and this was hard, and it felt as if I had regressed all the way back. The first week I was off it.
All the way back to what?
I started to just have pain in my legs, feeling like a giant bruise. Data couldn't lie next to me, couldn't lie on my lap. The second week I was off it.
That was the other thing. Starting from this point here, this video here, Anna starts building this argument of her tissue itself is painful. She starts building the argument of her skin and her fat tissue itself is painful. Not her joints, not her muscle, her literal skin and fat is painful. And this is an important detail because according to the US standards, that is an important trait of lipedema. I can't remember if it's an international standard or not. But you will notice from this point forward that Anna starts over-exaggerating being in pain when she remembers. She's not always in pain, right? It's just there will be certain times where she will perform pain, and it will not always be. It will usually only be where there will be a video we'll watch where she's being evaluated for her insurance to see if her insurance will pay for her liposuction. And during that, she will do an arm circle or something, and she'll be like, oh, this hurts so bad. And then I forget, there's something else she'll do. Like I forget. She'll like pick her knee up or something. She'll be like, oh God, oh, I think she'll just like sit down and stand up again, which she's just like, and it's just like, Anna, for fuck's sake. And she can't do this. She'll be like, it's like, that's for carpal tunnels. It has nothing. Okay, whatever. Anyway, the point is, this is also where Bagelgate comes in. Where she'll have a breakdown over a bagel because she walked for 2 miles, which actually turned out to be like 4.5 or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, the point is, she walked for so long, you guys, and then she got the wrong bagel. We're not going back over Bagelgate, but that's where Bagelgate comes from. So anyway, it's important that this is the beginning of the pain argument. Again, this is controlling the narrative. She has to build this argument about pain, but this is also where we start seeing the disruptive reasoning come in because she's got and the ritualized deception, because she has to build this argument about pain in order for the lipedema argument to hold, because otherwise she doesn't have lipedema, right? This is a trait. The pain is a trait of lipedema, at least by US standards. So if she's not experiencing pain in the tissue, she doesn't have lipedema by US standards, right? Jordan, I don't recall Jordan ever complaining about tissue pain. I can go back and look at things, but I don't recall Jordan ever complaining about tissue pain. Jordan couldn't move their legs. Jordan's legs swelled up, then they looked like this. They just looked like a tube. And they just could not move their leg. It didn't bend. It just was like this. It didn't move. It was actually quite fascinating. But through conservative treatments, Jordan's legs now look like legs. And then it's been a while since the Lup Leg series. Like, it's been over a year at this point. So Jordan's been in treatment for a while for their legs, and Jordan's never had surgery to my knowledge. But that's kind of the point. Jordan did all the things that Anna claimed that she did, and Jordan's legs look fine. Jordan's still obese. Like, still very obese. Very, very obese. Anna is still obese, has had the surgery, and doesn't look any better than she did. Okay? Anyway. I'm getting ahead of myself. Is she sped up? Did I speed this up? No, that's closed caption. Yeah, I sped this up. Jesus. Maybe I should speed it up more.
I started to have difficulties like walking distances. You know, for me, walking 5 to 6 miles in a day was pretty normal. It was something I did. You know, at least that's what my Apple Watch told me.
Well, your Apple Watch is lying to you, and you know it.
And now I was walking like 2-3 miles, and things started to really
I don't know why she thinks we're believing this.
hurt. My workouts started to become really, really hard.
There's a video of her trying to demonstrate to us her co-pilot workout and how easy it is for her to do her co-pilot workout. And it's pretty sad, actually. I'm impressed she posted it, because I wouldn't have posted it. But she's like, it's bad. She can't complete her own workout that she's like, oh my God, you guys, it's such an easy workout to do. And then she's like, she can't complete it. So for her to sit here and make this, and this is long before she starts the lipedema thing. So I don't know who she's trying to fool here.
Even when I asked my trainer to like reduce the workout weights, I couldn't do them. Like, it was as if my muscles had just magically atrophied. I am afraid that a lot of the work I've done on my mobility and the way my body works to kind of help counter my hyperextension may be gone. I have a feeling it's gone because I'm starting to have pain in my ankle again, and I haven't had pain in my ankle since I did that. And
I don't ever recall her mentioning hyperextension before. I would have to go back and double check, but I don't remember her mentioning hyperextension with Run Lab either. I feel like that's something they would have mentioned, but I can't 100% sure them mentioning it. But I do know that ever since she started talking with Amron, and specifically Karen Herbst, that Karen Herbst especially, have been convincing Anna that she has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which my understanding is that it's a connective tissue disorder that has severe hyperextension as one of its traits. But I mean like severe hyperextension to the point where like complete dislocation of joints and that kind of stuff. And ever since this point, Anna has been like way leaning into that and has been trying to convince her audience that she has ELS. And people who actually have that have been kind of pissy about it. I don't have it. I don't know anybody personally who does. Apparently there's like a very high number of cases in Pennsylvania for some strange reason. Like, it's just very common, more common in the area than it's not. I don't know. We got a lot of cases in this area, but other than that, I don't know a whole lot about it. But according to some people that do actually have it, like your joints just like dislocate. You like sneeze and your joints dislocate, kind of a thing. Anna doesn't have that problem. And one of the major things that's like a huge ass no-no with Ellis Daniels is like running, jumping, doing the things Anna does constantly. So do you have it or don't you, Anna? Kind of a thing. It's one of those things that like people keep trying to point out to her. But yeah. But it's since she's started this lipedema journey, specifically with the Advanced Lipedema Treatment Center. Now, remember back in 2020, when she originally announced that she had been diagnosed with lipedema, we got links to like the Lipedema Association, just a link to that. We start getting links to Advanced Lipedema Center here, which is Karen Herbst and Amron's brainchild. And Karen Herbst is a kind of a controversial figure in the lipedema greater world. And again, I will have Colin's video linked down below. Go give that a watch. Carve out some time. Go give it a watch. It's really very good to watch, and it explains so much. But yeah.
Just like, I have to do this assessment in like a couple days, and I am like terrified she's gonna tell me that I'm locking my legs again. Because I worked so freaking hard to not do that.
I have things to say about that, but it's also unrelated to anything.
But it's just my body trying to stop the pain I'm living in. I know.
And again, we're doing the weaponized crying. I'm starting to lock my legs again, instantly starting to cry. She was told by Run Lab that she locks her legs. This was way back in December of 2023 when she was doing the training. They literally told her she walks wrong, and they were literally teaching her to walk correctly. If she's starting to lock her legs again, it doesn't mean that the lipedema is robbing her of her ability to walk. It means she's not practicing her walking correctly. That's what that means. And this is her trying to shift blame away from the fact that she's not keeping up with the training that she got with Run Lab. And she's trying to shift the blame to, oh, it's my lipedema. Is it? Is it though? Is that really what's happening? Or is it more likely you waddled through your 5K and now you're done? It's another one of those, close the chapter, don't need to worry about the Run Lab stuff anymore. Done. Ignoring it.
I wake up every day in pain. And it's really bad. And I am trying to smile through it, and I'm trying to live through it, but I am crying a lot. I'm traveling with my creative partner, John. And I just keep apologizing because I'm so slow and I'm so tired all the time. And it feels like everything I fought for the last 2 years has just been like ripped out of my hands. And there's new pain that I didn't have when I started my health journey. And
this is important here, you know, the new pain. Again, the pain is an important detail because it's an important trait of lipedema in the States.
I don't understand it, and I can't even predict it, but I'm starting to have pain in my shoulders and my upper arms.
This is also as an important detail because Anna has very telltale signs of lipedema in her hips and thighs. Most people I know do not argue that Anna has lipedema there because it lines up with most diagnostic pictures on the internet. Again, we're not doctors, we're just going with our eyeballs. But Anna starts to argue from this point forward that she has lipedema in her upper arms and her shoulders, according to the doctors. So, because Anna wants an arm lift is why. And so Anna starts performing pain in her arms and shoulders because if she has lipedema, which a trait of lipedema is pain in the tissue, then she can get her insurance to pay for liposuction out of her arms and shoulders. You see where I'm going with this. This is everything I fought for has been ripped out of my hands. That's again the strategic victimhood. She's mining for empathy. Goes along with the crying. Yeah.
And so the whole thing with like not being able to have my dog on my thigh, now I can't lay on my side because this hurts, like this area feels just like so bruised.
There are videos of her on this cruise playing basketball. I think this is the same cruise where she's in the gym and she's like deadlifting an entire ass adult man. Just like literally lifting him up and doing like body curls with him. Because I still don't understand why she's doing that. I don't know. Anna's got a lot of issues. But there's video of her in this time period doing a lot of things that she should not be able to do if she had ELS, Ellis Daniels, EDS, and then she shouldn't be able to do if she was truly suffering from lipedema at the severity that she's claiming she's suffering at it from. Like running laps around the ship.
I know surgery's gonna help, but it all seems really overwhelming right now.
And again, we're empathy mining here with our weaponized tears. She's got to justify why she's getting the surgery. She hasn't mentioned that it's liposuction yet, and she knows that's going to set off not only the reaction channels, because she's been having reaction channels at this point. She has been introduced to Girl World at this point. This is post Target video. So she's been having reaction channels react to her at this point. Because not only is she this post Target, but this is her post trying to be a workout girly. And so she's had a lot of fitness channels that have been reacting to her because her fitness content is absolutely ridiculous. And that's basically what they've been saying. So she's had a lot of negative feedback. But she's also had a lot of pushback from the Health at Every Size and the fat acceptance groups because, again, she's been having the weight loss injections. So she's been visibly losing weight. And on top of that, she's been kind of rubbing it in everybody's face that she's losing weight. But it's not about weight loss. Then why is every 5 seconds you're like, oh my God, you guys, look how much weight I've lost? Is kind of the thing. So she's been getting it from both ends, basically. And so this is her building that wall, that shield against criticism here. So, and that's to shield her from both communities.
And I can't help feeling like a failure.
And see, with the crying and the I can't help but feeling like a failure. Oh no, Anna, you're not a failure. Oh, who would attack poor innocent Anna while she's crying on the internet? What monster would come after her? Me.
And I know sharing this, I am going to get shredded online. I know that is what so many people are going to do. I remember I watched
I'm still doing it.
Video. I don't even know who his creator was.
I think this is Alan again.
Just watch someone's like reaction. Because of course I've been trying to figure out like what happens when you get surgery, like other people have been diagnosed. You know, I'm curious. Like I'm acknowledging and accepting this, and it helps. That's why I'm making this to help somebody else go through that journey maybe a little bit smoother. But ouch. This man made a video where she's like, she doesn't even pronounce the condition wrong. It's lipedema, not lipedema. And all I could think was, my doctor's only ever said lipedema. So, asshole man on the internet, you're wrong. And that's what I realized in that moment was that like everything I say, someone is going to tell me I'm wrong. And I am...
I just assume it's Alan because that's the only person she ever really complains about is Alan. Alan Roberts, in case you don't know. She's had it out for him for a long time. I don't know why. I don't know why Alan over anyone else. I really don't. She has a lot of critics, I guess is my point. I guess because Alan's just loud. That's really all I've got. I don't really watch him anymore. Haven't for a very long time, so that's really all I've got. I just think because he pushes buttons and he's just gotten under her skin, I guess. I don't know why she continues to watch him because she clearly does. She still complains about him to this day. And I'm just like, quit watching him. Like, you know he's going to bitch about you. Just stop watching him.
really grateful that I made the decision to not share this until I was ready. Because I don't know if I would have made the decision.
But you were sharing it long before this point. She started sharing the fact that she was going to have this surgery a while before she made this video. What?
Decision that I've made, but I ultimately know it's the right decision.
All right, we've got.
I think the hardest thing about all of this, and it's just like when I think about it, it's like for the last 2 years, being physically active has become a huge part of my life and my joy. And I fought for that activity. I fought for that movement. And it's like someone has just ripped everything I love just out of my hands and taken it away.
Yeah, I know I'm going to get shredded online. Again, narrative control. She's trying to take control of who is allowed. She's trying to take control of who is and who isn't supporting her. Taking control of the narrative by, if you are saying negative things about her, you are not supporting her. If you are saying positive things about her, you are supporting her. But she gets to determine what is and isn't considered support, right? That's controlling the narrative here. Everything I say, someone is going to tell me I'm wrong. That's the ritualized deception. You're already going to tell me I'm wrong. So there's no point, kind of a thing. You are, no, we're not there yet.
And I just want it back. And I'm going to keep fighting to get it back because I deserve to have joy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to move in my body freely. And I don't deserve this pain. And I think that's the hardest thing is like, and I'm honestly working through this in therapy because it's a lot, but I'm not the problem. The condition.
What did go over? Now there were Anna positions herself, the ritualized deceptions. Anna positions herself as someone who is constantly misjudged, where there isn't a direct lie. It lays the groundwork for symbolic truth that she's always misunderstood, even when she is correct, right? So she's constantly framing this. Come back here. She's constantly framing this and reinforcing the idea that her truth is the truth. And any contradiction is a cruel or ignorant or misguided. She isn't lying. She's performing a carefully curated truth, right? So she is the truth, and anything contradicting that is misguided and or anti-truth. It's not even a lie. It's just anti-truth, right? If that makes sense. Versus disruptive reasoning, which is the making of vague appeals to learning, the learned experience, revelations, and challenges your ability to question her. If you critique her timeline, her choices, or if you contradict her in any way, you are dismissed as being ignorant of the whole story or her experiences. This sabotages your ability to reason by implying that she is the only one with the full picture, and to doubt her is to misunderstand her lived reality, right? So they're kind of similar, but they're a little bit different. But together, they're shifting the goalpost. But they also allow her to, again, come back to controlling the narrative, because controlling the narrative allows her to define what the narrative even is, right? So between the three of those are pretty powerful, actually. It's a trifecta, if one will. And if she can get all three of those going at the same time, she has control of she has control of everything. The conversation, the whole ass story. And that's, I think up until this point, up until about the Target era, she had control of it. Because she was she wasn't small, but she didn't have the negative attention that she's gotten since Target. She hadn't hit the reactor sphere yet. She hadn't become a full-ass lolcow yet. And so she wasn't part of Girl World yet. I don't know if Anna's technically a lolcow, but she hadn't become a member of Girl World yet. And I don't think she was prepared for that. I still don't think she's prepared for it. Otherwise, the comments wouldn't be turned off on all of her videos. But yeah. but she had full control up until this point. So there's that.
Is the problem. And that's hard because, like, as a bigger body, you're just gaslit your whole life to feel like you're the problem.
And this, again, her trying to grab control of the conversation through the narrative.
But you're not. You're not the problem. I think I need to be really honest about the fact that I'm scared.
Again, disruptive reasoning. Not the scared part, but the you're not the problem. Disruptive reasoning.
I know that surgery is the right option, but I am so afraid that it won't solve the problem.
That's the emotional mining.
That I will put myself
mining.
through a lot of pain. Different type of pain, but pain nonetheless, and a lot of, emotional, I don't want to say trauma because this is traumatic.
The crying itself is emotional empathy, the strategic victimhood. It's going to put me through a lot of pain. Okay, lots of people go through pain.
And it won't be better. I don't feel great going into this, but I don't think anybody does. I don't think anybody goes into surgery being like, yay!
Depends on the surgery.
I think if you live with this condition, you're watching this, probably nodding your head and you get it. And I hope for two things. One, I hope that this works.
That, if you live with this condition, you're probably nodding your head and you get it. That was the parasocial enmeshment. She starts from this point forward trying to ingratiate herself with the lipedema community to the point where she even starts changing the hashtags that she uses, and she starts introducing herself. Hi, my name's Anna, and if you don't know me, I have lipedema. Like, she changes her whole outreach. And from this point forward, she's desperately trying to become part of the lipedema community. I don't know how well it worked for her. I don't think it did. Again, it's another one of those pivots she tries throughout her career from about 2020 forward. And I think the only reason why the lipedema arc did better than the other shifts that she tried was because this one was so controversial for her. I don't think it succeeded for her. I think it was just controversial enough that it got everybody's attention.
And two, I hope that content like this will help other people.
And there she goes with her martyr complex. I just want to help other people. That's just me throwing that in there. That's not even one of our terms. It should be, though. Martyr complex.
There are so many mixed messages about bodies.
I think she's in New York. Going by the honking. Got your Starbucks. You got your orange luggage. You got whatever the hell that thing is. You got your Mountain Dew and your water bottle.
I mean, you're damned if you seek treatment, you're damned if you don't.
True.
And I'll say this, and this is controversial, and I don't even freaking care anymore. If I'm controversial, it's fine. But on one hand, people are telling you it is all your fault, and you are the problem, and you are making choices that led you to this. And on the other hand, you have a community of people who are telling you you were just meant to be big, don't do anything about it. And guess what? Both of those are wrong.
Again, narrative control. Where are we going here? Is that disruptive reasoning? That's not the one I'm looking for. Appreciator. Yeah. Hey, yeah, okay, disruptive reasoning there. Yeah, because, like, again, trying to keep things moving.
So I would say to anyone,
I think I'd also throw that into the mythologizing feedback loops, honestly, because, like, again, it's a negative feedback loop, but she's hearing the criticism from the audience and she's responding to it, even though she's responding to negative feedback from the two different groups, because she's responding to feedback from both Hayes and Fat Acceptance and from the reaction communities, especially the health, the fitness communities. Because like I said, her fitness content is something else. And she got a lot of pushback for it because it's bad. And the information that she hands out is bad. You can hurt yourself if you follow along with her.
If you feel like you are trapped in your body, and this isn't about aesthetics, this isn't about looking cute or being enclosed, but it's okay to pursue changes in your body for those reasons, but I am talking about...
And just going off of her nonverbals, it's totally about that for her.
out a very different feeling. When you feel like your body is fighting you, see somebody about it, and don't just see like.
And I don't understand this, like, non-verbally, I don't understand this particular line here, other than she's, again, falling back on that martyrdom that she constantly is trying to do. Like, she's trying constantly to be the inspirational martyr. And I think that's all this is her just trying to throw that in.
A random person on the internet, like, go see a doctor. My only regret at this point, especially after getting...
And that's that her fucking over-emoting. My only regret at this point. My only regret. My only regret at this point. Really? That's your only regret? You've known since 2020, at least. You've known since 2017. But you've openly admitted since 2020 that you've been diagnosed with fucking lipedema. Your only regret?
Everyone kind of telling me that, you know, I'm stage 4, which is like the worst. And also it seems like, and again, we don't know for sure because there's just so many unknowns at this point, but it seems like I'm producing lipidemic cells faster than I'm burning like healthy fat cells, which is part of the reason.
And again, this is something that you only hear in the US. Dr. Birch was like, we don't even know what that means. You can't create something from nothing. So what does this even mean?
And I stopped losing weight.
Yeah, well, this is why
I'm just
stopped
mad I didn't do
losing
this
weight.
sooner. And a lot of the reason I didn't do it sooner is because and this is so hard to say, I was scared of the optics because I wanted to believe I could do it myself. And it felt like pursuing surgery, pursuing medical treatment was me being a failure. And that is just simply not it. I'm still working through that mental hurdle, but I need to say that because I think it's really important for people to hear. You are not a
And again, the fucking martyrdom that she's insistent on.
Failure if you seek treatment. You are
I am a martyr because I am telling you that that I am going to martyr myself online so that I can tell you that if you pursue treatment, you are not a failure. And I'm going to prove it to you by pursuing treatment myself online so that you, whoever you are, know you're not a failure. Aren't I wonderful? There's got to be a word for that.
not a failure if you accept your condition. You are not a failure if you want to stop the pain.
And gosh darn it, people like
you cannot, especially if you're in the later stages like I am.
I feel like that definitely falls under strategic victimhood. I'm not gonna lie, because that's very strategic, and she's definitely playing up victimhood. It's definitely weaponization.
Magically eat well and exercise it away. I am living proof of that.
You literally can eat well and exercise it away. There are multiple channels on the internet, on YouTube, on Instagram, of women specifically who have done just that. Like, multiple channels who have done that. So I'm pretty sure people in the comments section can drop names of at least 5 that I can think of 5 channels that have done that successfully. So Anna's full of shit. Just FYI. Jordan Underwood, who I constantly bring up, effectively ate well and exercised their lipedema down. Right? They're still obese, but they handled their lipedema through diet and exercise and conservative treatment. That is literally how Jordan got their legs back. So Anna can sit and twitch. And this is why people are so pissed off at Anna, because Anna is full of shit. I don't know if Anna knows it. I suspect highly that she does. But Anna's full of shit. Anyway.
I think there are some very special people where that works, and that's why it's not a cut.
They are not special people. They are average, everyday people, most of them women, because apparently lipedema really kind of smacks women hard. It really just kind of targets women. I'm not saying men can't get it. I'm just saying you're pretty much the only people who get it are women, but some men do get it. But they're not super special people. Unlike Anna, who apparently has 2 super special obesity genes. We'll get to that later too. God. Oh, we'll get to that. But yeah, no, Anna right now, on top of building the I'm in constant pain. My skin and my tissue is pain. She also has to build this argument of, I cannot burn this fat away because it is not normal fat. Again, this is an argument only in the States. And also she has to build this argument of, crap, I lost my train of thought. Oh, that I cannot lose this weight through normal means, because that way, because if she could, she wouldn't qualify for surgery, because what she's getting is liposuction. She hasn't mentioned this yet, but the surgery she's going to get is liposuction. And they're literally just going to suck fat cells off of her. And later they're going to call it fibrotic tissue, whatever. And I don't remember about the fibrotics thing. I'm eventually going to have to go back through and rewatch Colin's video, but the fat is fat. The fat cells are fat cells. There's no difference, right? Anna needs there to be a difference, because otherwise she can't qualify for the surgery, right? So there's a lot of things happening in this video. That she's studying a lot of groundwork. On top of making an argument to the internet, she's setting a lot of groundwork for her insurance, one might say. I don't think she actually had her insurance pay for any of that. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think Anna paid for any of this out of pocket, or if she did, she had an incredibly reduced price for it. But she has to start the argument that she is in chronic pain because of the tissue itself. She has to set the argument for she is physically incapable of burning any of this fat through normal means. And she has to set the case for the fat that she has on her body is not normal fat. That it is some kind of weird alien fat that is generated from some magical portal where fats or lipedema fat comes from. That no one knows where that is except for Karen Herbst. So these are the arguments that she has to lay out. And that's what this video is for, on top of everything else that she's doing here, right? So this video is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
And dry line, but I know for me and my body, I have done everything right, and I have to take solace in that I have done everything I possibly could do on my own.
She doesn't even believe her own story. Look at that face. That is not, no, she does not believe her own story. And you know why she doesn't believe her own story? You know why I paused this video? Because she has never done any of this shit. And I think I said the exact same thing when I reacted to this video the first time. And as I said earlier in this video, she's known since 2020. Openly known since 2020, she has lipedema. I think she even mentioned in 2020 she has stage 4. Anyway.
And it's not worked.
You've not done anything.
It's done what it can do, and then it just stopped.
This is her overacting. Who does this? No one does this.
I don't even, sorry, I just stopped there because I just
wanted to impress upon you how incredibly over-emotional I am about this. Because that's what normal people do. Yeah, they also edit it out. They also cut that out of the video when they edit it.
I'm emotionally overwhelmed. I'm trying to keep it together. I've tried to film this like 8 times. And I don't know if I've gotten the words right, but I think at this point it doesn't matter if I've gotten the words right. If you accept me and what's in my heart, that's great. And if you don't, I wish you a good day and goodbye.
That's a very common Anna tactic as well. Anna doesn't like to accept any form of, again, criticism or accountability. And when she feels like there's the chance that she is going to receive any kind of accountability, she likes to do the whole, I said good day kind of a thing. She's well known for telling people to just unfollow her. If you don't like my stuff, just unfollow me. She's constantly telling her audience to just unfollow her if they don't like her. And this is just another one of those times where she's just preemptively basically telling people to unfollow her if they don't like what she has to say. On the one hand, yeah, I get you. If you don't like what somebody's doing on the internet, just unfollow them, I guess. It's up to you. It's just a little click of a button. But at the same time, as a creator, to basically tell your audience to just go off, I mean, that's kind of a you problem. That's not really your audience's problem, right? If you're suddenly creating content that your audience is going to find abhorrent, which is kind of what's happening here, that's kind of a you problem, especially if you're constantly telling your audience to F off.
There is always going to be someone that wants me to be a villain, but I don't need to be that villain in my life anymore. I don't need to be the person that's mean to me anymore. I don't need to be that. And so me getting this surgery and taking care of myself and continually fighting for me is really part of being kind to myself and doing the best I can for myself. And if people...
And all of this, you will notice, is this has got cut and put all the way at the beginning of the video, because clearly whoever edited this video, and I highly suspect it was Anna, clearly thought that this is the most impactful and most strategic part of the video. And so since it's all the way at the end of the video, because this is like minute 19 of 22 minutes or so, really wanted to get this stuff at the front of the video in order to build that shield fast. They wanted that empathy, that sympathy up front, so that you had that in your face before you started watching the rest of the video and you really started questioning what Anna was going to say and what Anna had to say through this video. They wanted you to feel bad for her first, so that then when she started saying all the other shit, you weren't like, but wait, we never saw you do anything to prevent. We never saw you do keto. We never saw you wear compression. We never saw you dry brush. We never saw you do any of the things that you said you were doing to prevent or to treat your stage 4 lipedema. Like, we barely even heard you mention that you had stage 4 lipedema. Like, no one knew anything about this. Or when she finally gets around to mentioning that she was on weight loss drugs, we never knew you were on weight loss drugs. Some people never even knew she was doing that. Like, but she's got all the crying and the weeping and the weaponized emotions all the way at the front. So if you're like a normal person, which I am not, you see all the crying and the weeping and the snotting all the way up front, and you're like, oh my God, Anna, what's wrong? And so by the time she gets to all the little confessions about the little lies in the middle of the video, you're just like, oh, poor Anna, oh God, wait, what? And now you're at the end of the video again, and now you're like, oh, poor Anna, and you've forgotten about all the shit that she just admitted to in the middle of the video. I mean, it's smart if you're not paying attention, right? We overthink things here. This is what we do. We pay way too much attention. And there's shit that even I've missed. I've watched other people go over this video, and there was stuff that they caught, and even I was like, oh man, I missed that. So, you know, oops. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Let's go.
People can't see that. Those people don't serve me. And that's it.
Those people don't serve me. Those people don't serve me. It's like in her last video. You guys don't deserve me. But I'm going to keep making videos because I'm going to gift myself to you.
I think I definitely need to make a better video about how to get diagnosed. I had all these things I was going to talk about, like all the processes I went through and how I was
Spoilers. I don't believe Shiver did.
diagnosed and what other like comorbidities I have, because it's very often that when you have lipedema you have other issues. But I just emotionally can't do that right now.
Well, we'll find out.
But I will when I feel just better in this. Every day I cry, every freaking day I cry.
I believe that.
And every day I just think maybe if I get a good night's sleep it'll feel better. And
Every day we're crying. Sorry. I told you I'm not normal.
it's not, it's usually worse. But that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. Because I matter and because I need it. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this, because it's what I need to do. I love y'all. You have been so supportive on this journey, and I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the last thing I want to say because it's in my head, and I think someone needs to hear it, so I'm just gonna say it. I've spent a lot of my life hiding my pain because I felt like a burden, because I felt like that if I told people I hurt, that if I told people things were hard, that they would think I was a burden, that I was challenging or difficult, and that they would not include me in things. So I just found ways to mask it, to hide it, to keep going, even when it was not great to keep going. And I didn't know there was an alternative. And I just want you to know if you feel that way. And this is something I've literally learned in like the last 2 days. The people in your life that love you will understand.
This goes back to the strategic victimhood and the also parasocial enmeshment, and therefore the self-mythologizing backfeed loop. So we are strategically victimizing ourselves with the I felt like a verb. I was gonna say virgin. Don't know where the fuck that came from. I felt like a burden. And then, you know, she's going to say something to the effect of, let people help you. Just tell them, let people help you. And then you are not a burden. So she's inviting people to connect with her through the whole, you are not a burden. Let people help you. Do like I did and let people help you. And then the whole, you know, like, I am not a burden. You are not a burden. You know, she's trying to create that loop there. Yeah. Going back to the, which one? I can't remember which of the 48 laws that was, but like the creating of the cult mind, the law for that, I think it was like law 27 or something like that. The creating of the cult mind, by creating, instead of creating a single figure for the cult mind, you're creating a community cult mind. That's kind of what is happening here. You're not a burden. We are not a burden. You know, she's trying to bring everybody together. We are not a burden, kind of a thing.
Just to tell them, to let them help you. I've had times where at the end of the day I can't walk data because I hurt too much. And to see my friends step up and help me has not only made me closer to them, but it's also made me feel so loved and supported. So I would say let those people in. Let those people know your pain. You're not a...
I wonder how often she actually walks that dog. I just question how often she actually walks that dog, because she travels so much. Like, how much time does she really spend with that dog, honestly?
burden. You're not. Okay. I need to go cry into a pillow right now.
Yay.
Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll check you later.
All right, so that is the end of that video. All right, we are officially, way too long. We are officially into the surgery arc. That was the launch of the official surgery arc, right? So from here on out, we are meeting the doctors, meeting the surgery facilities, continuing to build the argument of why we need to have the surgery. We start having our physical assessments for said surgery, yada, yada, yada. There's some other little things that are occurring during this time. I think do we go on another vacation? We do something. I think there's a couple little halls that occur. Snuck up on me. She starts wearing compression in a way that lets us know she's never worn compression. So that's fun. She continues to let us know that she's never done any of the things that she was supposed to be doing, which only further reinforces that she's been lying all this time. Anyway, it's an interesting thing to go through. We are going to continue forward with this, continue going through all of these. We may not do a breakdown. We may not be doing thorough breakdowns like this on every one of them. Just because these do take a lot of time, and I'd like to go through these a little faster from here on out. Also, a lot of them are going to be like TikToks and Instagram stories. So I'd like to crush things together a little bit more. But I think I've done what I wanted to do here. I think I've set the groundwork pretty solid with these 3 videos leading up into this. And we will... well, I know I've done a dark anthropology breakdown of the final video where she was basically the fourth and final surgery. I know I've done a dark anthropology breakdown of that one. So that's already done. We might do another look of with the new terms. We might do like a review of that one later. Anyway, that's in the future for a bit. That'll take a minute. I just want to let you guys know what to look forward to from here on out. We're going to try to like smoosh some things together, do some cut-ins here and there. Like I said, there will probably be some like guest spots from other people's videos as I find them relevant to stick in. There will definitely be some clips from Colin's videos. We are not going over everything from Colin. He did quite a bit of work. There's no need for us to go over everything, but there will be links. So if you have questions on things, do go check the description for links first. Then if those don't answer your questions, let me know. And if there isn't a link, let me know and I will try to fix that. That's all I got for you guys. So teardrop is your emoji. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Thank you everybody for support. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. I had a complete brain fart there. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. We're almost to 12K. 12K equals supporting another cat from the Beagle Freedom Foundation. Freedom Project. Yes, I think they still have cats. I don't know. I'll find out when we hit 12K. Until then, I'm just going to keep saying that. If they don't, we'll find somewhere else to adopt. Not adopt. Support. Symbolically adopt. I can't have any more cats. If you can't tell, I'm brain fried at this point. I've been recording for like, I think 5 hours at this point. I love you guys. And that's all I've got for you guys. So say goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.